Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is the Crotchety Old Men podcast, and we are here for another session. I'm here with my man, my main man, George Crumley. He's our band leader and our conductor here. George, how you doing today?
Oh, PC, you know I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing fine. I'm doing wonderful, brother. And if I was doing any better, there'd be two or three of me running around here.
Yeah, well, we know we can't have that.
So tell us, man,
Yeah,
we've got look like we've got somebody in the studio. Who we got today, George?
absolutely. We got another special guest. Keeping with the theme of trying to educate our community and getting exposure. We talked a couple of weeks ago about crypto. The economy is doing different things. We got a new administration, and so we just want to make sure that we expose everybody to everything that's out there from an investment perspective. So this week we're going to talk about gold. So we've got a special guest, Andre Osborn, back on the show. Welcome, Andre. How you doing?
What
Thank you,
up,
gentlemen.
Andre?
George, PC, glad to be here. Always a pleasure. I love what you guys are doing. I do chime in and listen. I didn't hear the crypto one, but it is on my to-do list of things to listen to. I've listened to the other previous episodes, so I always call and get my feedback, and I'm glad to come and show some support.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, when we talked, I wanted to get you on, and because gold has been doing a lot of different things. Not to say that's the only precious metal that you were involved with, because as we go through the interview, we're going to talk about a lot of different things, gold and silver, and let you kind of give us an overview of what's going on in that side of the world. But starting off, let's talk about it. Gold's up to what, $3,000 an ounce,
Gold
Yes,
all time high.
31.20.
32. Yeah, it was 32 the other day.
See? So gold is running 31.30. Yeah. So gold is rolling literally at all-time highs, historic. If you go back and check the tape, I almost guarantee I said this and I'm gonna say it again. The bill or the money was spent. So the bill has to come due and the interest is gonna be due and the price of gold is gonna go up. Common
So let me
sense.
ask you this. The
Sure.
economic scholars talk about the fluctuation of gold. Gold goes up when the economy is not doing so well. When the economy is doing very well, gold goes back down. So how do you maintain the value of your gold? I guess you sell it when it starts to go down.
Yeah. Um, I have clients that have many schools of thought, and I'm gonna give you some simple ones. There are a lot of people have this belief that you have to go sell your gold. I've got clients that they've been buying gold. So their grandfather bought gold, their parents bought gold, and they bought gold. Just I'll use examples with one particular client. He's a business owner. Um, they have potentially hundreds of ounces in storage amongst their family collective. But he said to me, I may never have to sell it. You only need to sell it, almost like real estate, when there's a need. But it's something that gives you a level of comfort and peace of mind that if your other investments aren't doing as well, you have this something in your back pocket that makes your portfolio balance, so to speak.
Well, let's
Because
talk about that.
yeah,
Let's talk about that. Can you leverage gold without selling it?
there are services out there that have what's called collateralized lending, and you can lend up to a certain percentage of the value of what it is. Now, you have to have a certain amount of gold. People call it glorified pawning, but you take equity out your home. Um, so why wouldn't you take equity out of another asset? It just has to be a certain level of value. So typically, I think the level of entry is like $20,000 for most people that provide that service.
So how many
But
how
you can leverage up to like 60, 70% of the value of what it is.
so how do you maintain the level of value in a process like what you're explaining right now?
Okay, so that process you would basically it's nothing to do with your credits, everything to do with the asset. The asset, let's say PC, you have 10 ounces of gold. That would put it at $31,000. You need to do something. They have an origination fee, they, an interest rate that you guys agree on is generally short term, generally about a quarter, 3 months that they'll typically do loaning for, and just to let's say you get 50% of it, so you send it in to a service, um, and they collateralize it. They'll send you 15 grand. Let's say it costs you two, but what you were going to do with that 15, you were going to make 50% on that money, because a lot of our clients are, let's say, in real estate, or they see other opportunities present themselves and they want to do, let's say, a futures contract or options. And they say, okay, I'm guaranteed to make this money. I need to liquidate and get some cash someplace. All of that is basically a balancing of your portfolio. You should be managing your money anyway. You see an opportunity to buy some land, and I've got a client that does real estate. This home is gonna be built in 8 months, and they need some, they're not as liquid for something, and they liquidate some gold. They may sell some, they may leverage some. Now you're liquid, you get the money back. You made significantly more money on it. And not only do you pay the money back and you get your metal back, or you leave it stored, you then go out and buy some more, because now you have more capital returned than you were making on it just being a storage of wealth.
Okay. So let's talk. Since the last time we had you on about a year ago. So Alex Lexington is the name of your company. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in this last year, because like I said, gold has gone up. And tell us a little bit about your business and what's been happening with that.
Thank you. So Alex Lexington, we specialize in precious metals. We buy, we sell coins and bullion, raw jewelry, let's say your sterling flatware, anything that's basically like an alternative asset, precious metal. Um, you can deal with us. We also have a jewelry division, where we do custom jewelry. We do custom jewelry designs for those getting married, engagements, anniversaries. We provide all those services. So we are your one-stop shop for all things precious metals. Something I want to bring to the table is I am potentially it's either going to be a fund, or we're looking to tokenize precious metals. That is the evolution of where money is going. People may say, why would I do that? There used to be a time where you kept all your cash in your home under your mattress. The evolution was you put your money in the bank and you still got to use it via a card. Our clients want similar services, and they want to be able to leverage it, like you were asking about leveraging it. So a project that we're working on right now is going to be, it's going to lead up to the collateralization or the lending on it eventually, but storage and the ability to do monthly investment. Well, we do that already. We have monthly investors already, but monthly investors without having to, let's say, take delivery. That's the service that we're working on, and I'm looking to bring that to market. I'm not quite raising money yet, but we at least have a figure. It's a pretty large number, but it's something that I'm talking to some pretty important people about.
So you have a service where you can do, say, for example, you want to invest $50 a month in gold, like we do dollar cost averaging with our stocks. So you can do dollars cost averaging with gold?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I recommend it to everybody. People say,
Okay.
well, the price of gold is going to go down when I buy it at 3,100. I said, okay. The biggest benefit of purchasing gold is consistency. When you buy consistently, just like anything else, if you only bought one stock of Apple or one stock of Tesla, that doesn't really benefit you. If you buy a number of stocks, I bought it at this price and then it dropped, and I bought it at this price, and they say buy the dip. So we provide the ability for our clients to, let's say, I think our minimum is $200. Our minimum is $200 a month, and you spend $200 a month. It could be gold, it could be silver. We have different products. You're not limited to what category of precious metals you want to get into, and we deliver it to you, or you can come pick it up.
So here again, for example, you said if I gave you, say, I'm going to do $200 a month.
Mhm.
So would you actually take possession of $200 worth of a combination of, say, gold and silver every month, and that would just to continue to go on?
Yes.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay, that's
People
pretty
have their
simple.
preferences in categories. So, for example, some people just want a dollar amount, and at that point, they trust my opinion as a expert, and I'll say, okay, you're going to be getting 6 silver coins. So whenever
Hmm.
it comes in, they come pick it up, and next month they want to do the next dollar amount. Next month it might be $800.
Hmm.
They may not want to do it next month, but we have the option um, and the relationship to provide that service consistently. Repeat purchasing is the key to success, and you'll look around and you've accumulated a significant amount um, of investment as time progresses, and
Okay.
it's a good way for some people to save. I would even say it's biblical. Um, People typically just think that it's superficial. Something happens to your money when you consistently build it.
Right.
That is a known fact. And you function different. Your money functions different. Somehow it even exponentially grows differently when you allocate funds in a consistent way. Typically 10% of your portfolio. Some people a little more generous than that, but that's what we recommend, or something that people use and is more universally accepted as well.
So do
So
you
let's
see
get
that?
back. Go ahead, George.
So do you see that the majority of your clients are buying gold to create a legacy, balance their portfolio, or what's because it's interesting. I think when we had you on before and we talked about purchasing gold, actually gold was in the news and it was on a regular basis. We purchased some at that time, and then you don't hear about gold for a while now, obviously because of the fact that there's a lot of things going on with this new administration. Gold is back at the forefront. So over this time, I mean, you've still been in business and doing business. So what has been the profile of your client over the say of the last year?
I've had a lot of clients that have, um, I would say 60-40, 60% have been selling because they were clients when gold was $1,500 an ounce. So you've doubled your money. Some people are liquidating because it's just time for them. They feel it's just something that they want to do right now. And they feel that, okay, I'm going to liquidate it, gold at $3,000 an ounce. And hey, I doubled my money, doubled in a couple of years, five. So I think I want to say typically, let's say 5 years. I doubled my money in 5 years, 6 years, whatever the number is. But they did that and they want to sell. And I've got other clients that are accumulating their new levels of wealth. They've made money in crypto. They've made money in real estate. Sold a home. They've had a property, and they say, okay, I made 200K. They want to go spend take that money and put it into metals. Metals can give you similar returns to real estate. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I've got a client, for example, she'll sell a home, put 6 figures in real estate, and it's liquid enough that when it goes up and she wants to go buy some more property, she needs a down payment. She liquidates a portion of that, takes it and moves it around. We provide the service and the reliability to clients. That's really what they're looking for. A lot of our clients. So it's not necessarily the buy and the sell. Um, you're each of you at a different point in your business or your financial journey. Some of you are cashing out because gold was $1,000 and now it's $3,000. You need to renovate your kitchen. You want 40K, 30K. These are the conversations that I have with my clients. Um, got clients that, hey, they made a lot of money in real estate. Like I said, I use that example a lot, and now they're back to that. So it depends on your case scenario. I'm not trying to give you um, unbiased, but everybody's situation is different, and it continues to be that way. Less people are buying though. A lot of people are selling, and they're just cashing out.
So let me ask you this, Andre. Let's get back to the discussion of the transference of it and your idea of
Okay.
making it almost crypto like in a sense. If you're
Yeah.
gonna have coin to represent a certain value of the gold and
Yes.
so forth, which sounds to me like a much better process as opposed to accumulating this gold by the ounce and storing it somewhere, whether it's in your house. If I store it with you, I'm going to have to pay a fee, that sort of thing. Explain to us exactly how that coin representation may work.
So there are fees involved. Um, you would pay an annual fee or a quarterly fee. I think, yeah, quarterly fee, and it's based on a percentage of what it's based on a percentage of the value of what you're storing. It's no different though than if you were to be paying for insurance for it being stored in your home. It's maybe even cheaper than you storing because if you get an insurance policy for something of significant value, it's going to cost you. You're going to have to get an insurance rider at your home. You'd be doing that with me though, and the difference is though if you want to liquidate, you're not transferring it anywhere. You just make a phone call and you say, "Hey, I want to do this amount." But in this case scenario, it would be, let's say, digitally. You can push a button, put in an order, and you could say, oh, okay, I want to physically take delivery of it, or I would like to just liquidate it. And it takes a day, maybe two, and we wire you the money at the rate of where the market is. So ease of less friction is what we really call it. Everybody wants more convenience, and that's what we're trying to provide our customers. And I'm always forward thinking. So looking to the future, I think this is the future of the way business is going to be done, in spite of how some people may feel about different things.
Switching it up just a little bit, let's talk a little bit about silver. What I'm reading is approximately 1/3 of global annual silver supply is consumed in electronic manufacturing.
That is true.
So let's talk a little bit about silver,
Hmm.
how it's used, and even somewhat of a hedge against, inflation because of how it's used. So I guess it's more of a gold is more of a nice to have, but then silver has actual functional purposes.
I would say silver is more related to economics.
Hmm.
Gold is related more to social economics. So we're dealing with tariffs, which are affecting everybody in a very real way. Um, Silver is more related to your grassroots economics. I don't know if I used this example with you guys before, but I'm gonna, I always paint the picture. The ounces in silver are related to what the livable wage is and the hourly rate. So silver used to be, let's say, $4 or $5 an ounce in the 80s and 90s. You could make a living on $7, $8 an hour. That's what the minimum wage was. Silver has jumped to the 20s, and unfortunately, that's what it costs to live a certain level of comfort in America. And now we're in the 30s. You probably need to be in that $30 range to be making a comfortable, or I'm not having a comfortable life. So silver has some relation. The electronics aspect, from a war perspective as well. People don't know this, but there's something like, I want to say, 3,000 ounces in certain missiles that the government produces. So there are real world application functions that come with silver, and silver is actually used from an industrial perspective. And silver is actually I would say, one of the most undervalued assets on the planet, because the use case scenarios include medical, um, you know,
Electronics.
batteries,
Yeah.
electronics, um, weaponry, you name it. Silver is applicable to all of those use case scenarios, and
Now,
are in high demand and will continue to be in high demand.
I'm glad you brought that up, George, because Andre, as you talk about tariffs, and the majority of silver is mined outside of the United States.
Hmm.
Kuala Lumpur, Africa, Mexico, a lot of different places.
Mexico.
What do you
Yep.
think the tariff game is going to do to the silver that we need to have on a daily and a regular basis?
It's going to affect the price significantly. I would say anybody can Google this, and I always recommend looking at what the real world application is. It's going to affect the price of our medical devices.
Hmm.
I mean, from a
And they
war,
use silver,
no.
right? Go ahead. Go
So I
ahead. They
was going to
use
say,
silver a lot in medical devices.
so medical devices, we have an older society. Where's it going to come from? Most of the silver comes from Australia. It comes from Mexico, from relation to us, and that cost is going to be transferred over to you as a consumer. People don't know this. Gold has been shipped to the United States at historic levels, probably since the crash of '08. They can't even get it here fast enough to avoid paying tariffs on the exchanges because it's affecting the way that money is moved in a very big way. So you can go look that up. Tons of gold are being shipped to the United States from London, and it's something that is affecting the price significantly, and it's going to continue to affect the price of gold in the next year, guaranteed.
So you would suggest that if the tariffs are allowed to continue as they are, or as
Hmm.
we see it, or as we imagine it to be, then the price of silver is going to go up, and as a result, that's something to invest our money in.
The the short answer is yes, and the price is never going to go back. I use oil for example. The price of oil is never going back to 99 cents. It's just not. The price of gold will never go back down. So I always say this: look at where the banks put their money. Look at where governments are putting their money. The U.S. government, the current regime, the Trump administration, has been talking about reevaluating the gold that is stored in Fort Knox because that is an asset that is sitting on the books from a 1970s number. That's just reevaluating what we have right now, reassessing the portfolio. The government's doing it. So money's being moved around in ways, and it's unpopular to tell people to put their money in certain vehicles because it gives you the consumer control, and control is essentially what you want of your money. Knowledge and information puts
Yeah,
you ahead of the game. Do you take action and get involved? And I know you
absolutely. Yeah.
guys are big on that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and that's why I wanted to have you back on because the information and the education, the letting people, because we're talking about in a world where there's a lot of uncertainty,
Mhm.
and it's important that we uh, provide as much calmness as possible and tell folks that hey, yeah, the stock market might be up and down, but there's other means.
Mhm.
Like you said, we talked about crypto, did 2 episodes on that, and now we're talking about gold and silver to bring some form of calmness to people that there are other avenues, and the name of the game is to diversify.
Yes.
Diversification is the name of the game, and that's what folks do. And I think it's really important because we, like I said earlier, we're crotchety old men, but see, you're the next generation, and you see things that we don't see. And I think with your company, Alex Lexington, I mean, you're doing a lot of different things. So, kind of tell us, what's in store for your company, how you're growing, the direction of it. And so, our clients and talk, obviously give the name and website. So your clients and our clients will know, how to get in touch with you.
Okay. Well, my name is Andre Osborn of Alex Lexington. We specialize in precious metals. We provide multiple services. You can buy coins, you can sell coins. We deal a lot of it in estate liquidation. So we're talking about generational wealth transfer. That's a major thing. If you were my parent and you've been investing in metals for, let's say, the past 20 years, a lot of people don't know who they're going to go deal with. Or they may not like the person that their parents were dealing with, but the assets gets transferred in some capacity. We have people that, let's say, liquidate a position that, let's say, a parent or family members had. Um, you can come to us and cash out, so to speak. You can reach us through different social media platforms. We have alex.lexington.preciousmetals. That's our Instagram handle. alexlexington.com is our website. For jewelry and other gift or indulgence purposes, we have alexlexingtondiamonds.com. All of those are avenues by which you can reach us and communicate with us. We always tell our clients we are about personal service. If you want to talk to somebody on the phone, call us, fill out a form on our website, and we usually get back with you within 24 hours.
Well, it certainly was a gratifying experience having you back on, Andre.
Well,
Because
thank you, man. It's always a pleasure, gentlemen. Y'all do good work.
yeah, I'm really excited and like to hear more about this transference that you have. That sounds almost like crypto to me, and I
That's good.
ascribe to crypto. So we need to talk
You're
some more.
okay. Listen, I have clients looking for education on a lot of different things. We have what we call the Alex Lexington Network on our website, and you can get information. A lot of our clients, believe it or not, are big in crypto. They'll liquidate metals and go buy crypto. And let's say, like, for example, crypto was at $100,000. If you see that the market is going down and you want to shift your position, you can take those assets and move into metal. And now gold is going up, or metals are going up in general. So
And then
we're
maybe there's a way
I'm
by
listening.
which you can use our podcast to help educate your folk.
Oh, of course. Listen, I recommend you guys. I'm going to probably be sharing this link on the Alex Lexington Network whenever it goes live, and I always look forward to educating and informing in a community aspect. The more everybody knows, the easier it makes life for me.
So,
My man.
I'm not gonna have your wife mad at me. So I need you to, because I've seen you guys on Instagram, and I need you to, kind of talk about what she does with the diamonds and the
All
design.
right.
Because see, I ain't gonna have her mad at me. We
Oh,
just had Alex on, and he
we
talked
can
about
mention.
his stuff. So talk
So
about the.
I'm so I would say I'm probably one of my wife's biggest advocates. She has a special skill set. She's the third generation in the diamond industry services. Her father's uncle got him in the business. He came into this business in the 70s. My father-in-law still comes to the office every day, well, most days. He's the weather just got good, so he's probably going to go golfing. But Danielle will repurpose your jewelry if you're looking to, let's say, update. You have some jewelry that was yours or your grandmother's. You want to repurpose some diamonds, repurpose some precious gems, or do something that symbolizes your love and a connection with your family members. You can recreate anything that comes to mind. If you go on alexlexingtondiamonds.com, you will see a custom lapel pin that I designed myself. We have inspiration from different things. So we do high-end jewelry, custom jewelry work, and it can be as simple as a chain or as complicated as a brooch that has precious stones, natural or lab, because everybody is moving toward the lab aspect of the industry. I may not be, I'm a purist. I may not be an advocate, but see, PC is saying, nah, not for me. Hey, listen, if you want natural, we
I
supply
say
it.
that.
I work in that.
I say that jokingly because there is a market for lab created. It's
Yeah.
cheaper for one thing, but the one thing you do
Yeah.
miss out of a lab created stone is the vibration that natural stone supplies you with.
Tell them. Tell
Okay,
them.
and
Um,
that's That's what's important about jewelry, and it always has been since before the birth of Christ. Though those jewels, when they're charged either by the moon, the full moon, or
Mhm.
distilled water, they create a vibration that creates magic, and that's why we wear what we wear.
Listen, there's a connection. People, when I first got to this industry, people thought that gold is outdated. I said, have you ever held a piece of jewelry like an actual like gold chain or gold ring? I wasn't even a big believer till I did it myself. This is a custom jewelry piece. My last name is Osborn, so I put O's going through it. It's a design I saw, and you can make it you, but you feel different when you're wearing something that is designed by yourself and authentic. So we supply both to depending on your needs. I've got purists that say I'm not doing it, which is like yourself that says, listen, there's a connection. You feel the connection, and then there are people that say that it doesn't matter to them, but the gold and the design process is really what makes people connect. And like you said, the vibration, you feel different when you contribute to something. There's a connection when you, let's say, use older jewelry and recreate it to make something that connects you with the previous generation in your family. So that's a big thing that we're doing right now with a lot of clients, mothers, daughters, and grandmothers together. That's a big thing that we're doing right now.
Yeah, I get so excited, man, when I have you on, because it's just so inspiring, to have brothers out here doing things in areas that we think are traditionally done by other folk. But I want to make sure our
Yeah.
audience knows that here's a young man that has some lineage, and in this business, knows what he's talking about, and hear this podcast. I want them to directly go to alexlexington.com and find you, because that's we like fine things, and you don't always have to go to the mall to get it, because you
That is
are,
true.
young man with a great business, great ethic. It's family owned. You've been around for years, and I want our audience to know that, and I want at the end of the day, I want you to get some business from this, because I
Well,
think
thank
what
you.
you're doing is a very important thing.
George, I love coming on PC. Thank you. Give Smitty my regards. Um, um, Always a pleasure. I've been doing this for 16 years now. Jeez, when I say it like that, it sounds. I'm in 16 years. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about it. I'm motivated. Um, I love to provide education and information. If if you're looking to be educated and informed, I'm your guy. We like personal touch. If you want to come in and sit down and have a consult, George just sat down and have a consult. Him and his wife,
Absolutely.
and not only do people do business with us, but my goal is to also share and connect my clients with other clients, because at the end of the day, we are a community, and you want to share the wealth, so to speak. So I talk up our clients, I share what they do with other people. And if you're looking to get into other spaces and you want education information, we have the network, and we're looking to build that space out, so we have some place to gather, so to speak, together, and learn different things about each other. So thank you, George. Thank you,
Oh,
PC.
absolutely.
It's always a
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Oh,
And I
anytime,
want your
brother.
audience to
Anytime.
always know that you guys are experts at what you do. I learn a lot about real estate through you, gentlemen.
Well, good, good. Well, as we always say, PC, what you got to send us home with? I know you got something special over
Well,
there.
yeah, absolutely, I do, George, and it was based on what you said about inspiration. So let's listen to it. If you look at the people in your circle and you don't get inspired, you don't have a circle. You got a cage.
Mm, that's that's heavy.
That is. That's good. I like that. I
I
like
like
that.
that.
I like that. And as we always say on the Crutchet Old Men podcast, hey, if you didn't know, hey,
Now you
now
know.
you
Now
know.
you know. Good
Hey,
to see you,
thanks
Andre.
for
Take it
coming
easy,
on.
baby.
Have a great
Pleasure.
day. Be
All right.
blessed.